this way. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Friday follow-up. And today what I'm going to be introducing to you folks is the first segment of a new series I'd like to introduce called Putting the Pieces Together One Step at a Time. And I couldn't think of a better person to start this series off by asking Doug Lucas to join me today and talk about his success and his challenge that he has for himself on increasing the number of steps that he's going to take for 2022. So welcome, Doug. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. And you?
I'm doing fine. I should say that you're from Ontario.
Yeah.
And you have, if people don't already know this, you are the International King runner-up for 2020. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes. And while I kind of knew that, Doug, what caught my eye was your posting on Facebook with your steps, and I'll get that in a moment. But could you tell us a little bit about how much you lost towards your goal and what happened when you were announced as international runner-up?
From my original weight or from the last couple of years?
Whatever you feel comfortable in sharing.
Original weight, I'm probably down about 270. But the last couple of years, I'm down 215, I believe it is now. So there's just been a lot of perfect timing with this pandemic and stuff. I had nothing else to do, so I've been walking and watching my diet.
So you kind of turned it around, where some folks with the pandemic kind of threw their schedule off and they couldn't do the things they wanted. You said you had more time, so you were able to walk more.
And I said to my wife that this is the turning point. Usually for me, when it gets stressful, I get to a couch potato and I just eat whatever. I said to her, I've already lost, by that time I think it was about 80 pounds I'd already lost. I said, I can't keep on doing that. So I'm going to concentrate on myself. My schedule will open right up. My job was off because of the pandemic. My volunteering was off. All my sports stuff was off. So I said, well, I'm going to keep on walking and concentrate on myself. And the rest is history, I guess. I lost 120 pounds the next year and a half or so.
And that gave you the 200 pounds that you were recognized for, for TOPS. But as you say, so many of our TOPS members lost weight before they joined TOPS, or they had a higher weight than what is actually, posted. And
yeah, that's what mine is.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, I've always said that people who had to lose 200 pounds, 100 pounds, or 30 pounds, it's the same struggle. It's the same process we've got to go through in just keeping it going, as I say, one step at a time. And it's just ironic. Today, I just got a card from one of the board members offering me support. It just said, we're more than a number on a scale. And so, it's great that you lost that amount of weight, but how do you feel?
Oh, 100% better.
Yeah.
The blood pressure still, the only thing I'm having trouble with my blood pressure, but it's under control now. So.
Well, that's great. Where are some of the places that you walk?
Around, a lot of it's right around my house here. I have a 47-kilometer trail right 500 feet from my front door. I walked that whole thing in 1 month last year. Last July, I did the whole 47 kilometers. I go to Orangeville a lot. It's a nice 8-kilometer trail that loops around a lake. I go into Guelph quite a bit. And I get people offer me trails to go and check out. I've been to Hoppy Hills. I've been all over the place. Just changing a bit. In the wintertime, I stick around the house here just because of the weather.
So you're becoming an expert on inspecting trails there.
Yeah, so I love my trails. So, and I can walk around the park here where I live, and I can get 10,000 steps in about, and not touch a different street. I have a loop I go in. It's all different streets, and I can do 10,000 steps. So
And you walk every day, Doug?
Yep.
No matter what the weather or the temperature or anything?
Yeah. That's why I was shocked last year. Daryl Maybanks, who was the Ontario Division One winner the year before I won, we walked together. And we were saying, I've never walked in the winter before. So I was like, what are we going to do? And I actually enjoy the winter better.
Really? Wow.
Cooler, there's less people around. I have coats now that are like I wore before when I was 200 pounds heavier, so I can layer up. So I just layer up, and I'm dressed nice and warm. And as long as you have the right equipment and clothes, I said last year, my motto was no excuses.
I was just going to say, you're not making any excuses. So many.
That was my motto.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tend to say, well, it's kind of looks like going to rain maybe in 3 hours, so I better not go for a walk. You know?
I went out and bought different spikes for different type of weather, and had snowshoes last year. I have some pants that have the felt in it, so it's warmer, and I have all these layers I can put on. So no weather is going to stop me.
Yeah. Now, when you're counting your steps for the day, is it all your steps or just when you're going for a walk? I mean, in other words, when you're walking around the house or going to running errands, are you monitoring those steps, or it's just when you're out for a period of time?
My phone counts my steps.
Okay.
So my phone's with me.
Yep.
It's counting. It might not in the house. I probably haven't got it with me all the time, but occasionally I do. So it's a here and there. But everything outside, it's going.
So it's fair to say that you don't have to go to a fancy gym and work out with weights. You can just move one step at a time to get your steps in.
Yeah, when I started, twice I've started, I haven't gone to walk to basically the next driveway, and I'd be out of breath. And I just started doing that for 3 or 4 days, so I got used to it. Then I walked the next driveway, and then I got the next driveway, and within about a month, I was walking blocks. So I did it twice.
That's great. And also too, I've noticed that you're posting some fantastic nature pictures while you're inspecting these trails. Are you a professional photographer or amateur photographer?
It's hard. I was a sports photographer. And I did wedding pictures for people, but now I just use my phone.
Okay, technology, right? I mean, here we go.
It's unbelievable the pictures I can take.
Yeah,
I know how I've been taught how to crop and how to make people look nice and how to. So, but the phone's got everything on it. My set list, my pictures, my walking. So you don't want to lose it. I tell you that much.
no, okay, that's right. Yeah. Well, so I mean, it's so again, it's fair to say that we can just move more, and that helps. We don't have to go to a gym. How long have you been with Tops?
I think it was 2008. I started.
And you were at, what was your highest weight, if you don't mind me asking?
If it wasn't over 500, it was 500. So I was probably over 500 at one point. I wasn't weighing myself there for a while.
Right. Yeah. And you just kept on staying with it, just working the program. I mean, nothing happens overnight, right, Doug?
I've been in the 14 years I've been with Tops. I've been on stage, Division One winner, like 7 times.
I don't know if that's a record, Doug.
So that means I've been up and I've been down. I've been a yo-yo. Every time there's stress or something, I put my weight on. So I've been a Division One winner the last 2 years running now for Ontario. So but I've been on stage, I think it's 7 times now. Yeah. So every other year. So,
I'm sorry we didn't have a, a real IRD this time. So you
yeah,
know, but you mentioned something else a couple of times while we're chatting, is that when you were stressed, you started to either gain or not work your program and stuff like that. So is it fair that you're a stress eater, that you just reach out for the comfort foods?
I was, and then right before the pandemic started, I said to my wife, I said, I got to figure this out. I'm losing the weight again now. I want to figure this out now. Why I'm gaining, what I can do to not stress eat anymore, because it does it every time for me.
Right.
So I went to my doctor and got a therapist, and that's what that magazine was. The article was in the magazine, the last issue.
Right.
It was about going to a therapist. And that's probably the mind has to be there. If your mind's not there, it's just going to keep on repeating itself.
So it's not only your feet making you go with your steps. It's also that mindset that you have to be ready to accept what's happening and move forward.
I believe that's the number one thing, is your head's got to be ready to lose the weight. If it's not there, you're going to waste your time and it's going to keep on doing it.
Yeah.
So, and I went to a therapist. I said, I need to figure this out now, because I lost, I think, about 90 pounds then. And I said, I'm losing it now. I don't want to put it back on. So I went to my doctor, and I got a really good therapist, and she's really helped me out.
I think that's important, because, as you know, in TOPS at the chapter meeting, we try to support each other, but sometimes we need to talk to somebody else, somebody outside the organization, just to get to help with that first step, to go forward.
I think TOPS is good for the accountability and the support, but it's up to you to actually do the actual work. It's great to have the support, though.
That is so true. And I of course, I did a little background on you because I have TOPS News at my, and I really love this quote where you said, I have a completely different mindset, and I'm mentally ready for anything that life throws at me. And I think
so far,
yeah, well, we can only do it one step at a time. Yeah. And I really like the way you kind of turn the script on the pandemic, where you're saying, hey, I've got this time now, I can go out and do these things. So that's just great.
I think 4 years ago, if that pandemic would hit 4 years ago, I would have been back on the couch eating whatever was around. Where this time I had the right mental state, and I used the pandemic because I had all the free time, and I went, well, I need to keep on doing something. So I just kept on walking.
Yeah. And it's fair to say also is that whether it's a pandemic or something is always going to be thrown our way, and we got to be mentally ready for it. So that's great. Well, Doug, thank you for taking this time with me and being honest about how you approach this weight loss and your challenge for the steps. I look forward to the end of 2022, see how many steps you actually made. It's quite a challenge that you set for yourself.
Yeah, I just figured, well, I combined my last 2 years, and I went, I'm only the 6 million, I think. Something's over 6 million steps away from 20 million for 3 years. And I thought, well, that's pretty good. And it's in between what I did the last 2 years.
Right.
So hopefully I can keep it up and manage that. So,
well, I'm sure you will. Congratulations on being the 2020 International King runner-up. And again, thank you for taking this time. And I look forward to see you somewhere on the trail.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed my chat with Doug this morning. And I'll be inviting other TOPS members throughout the year to have a chat, and we'll talk about how they put the pieces together one step at a time. As for my journey of accountability, chapter meeting last night, had another great meeting. I lost 2.2 pounds this week, my first loss in about 8-9 weeks. So that felt really good. I'll be traveling to headquarters on Sunday, and I'll be talking to you next Friday from my desk at headquarters. And we're going to do something a little bit different. So I hope you stay tuned. We'll see you next Friday.